Hi everyone, so today I'm bringing you another book video, and this time it's gonna be a wrap-up and a TBR. So I only read 4 books in the month of September. I wish I read more, but it's like not that terrible, so I just want to share those 4 books with you, and then I'm gonna tell you which books I'm planning to read this month. So yeah, if you're interested in watching this video, let's jump right into it. The first book I read last month was Wake Up by Chris Brown, which is a non-fiction about how to stop living a life on autopilot, and it's super awesome. I made a review on it, so I'm gonna link it down below if you want to check that out, but it's a non-fiction. I definitely recommend. It's awesome. I flew through it and it was really good, so yeah. Then the next book I read is The 1000th Floor by Katharine McGee, and I think I didn't talk about this in a video, but I wrote a blog post about it on my blog, so I'm gonna link that down below as well if you want to read through it and check out all of my thoughts on this book. But if you don't know what this is, it's basically set in a futuristic New York City in the year 2118, so basically it's like in 100 years from now. Someone described it as like a futuristic Gossip Girl, which is quite true. There is the whole thing of like different kinds of like classes, because depending on the floor, the 1000th floor is like the richest and the like first one is the poorest, and so there's a lot of different kinds of people from a lot of different kinds of families, and so it's really cool, interesting. I'd never read anything like this before, so I was really intrigued. I did not like the book, which you can read in that post, because I didn't like it much. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, which is becoming more common the more books I read, but it's not that common. I usually don't give 2 stars often. I give 3 stars often, but 2 stars, that's like, oh shit. But yeah, it's not that I hated the book, but yeah, I don't want to spend a million years talking about it so that this video isn't too long, but like I said, if you want to hear more, then you can check out that post. Then another book I read, which I don't have here because I don't know where it is. I was remaking my room, and so my books are not on their bookshelves, and I don't know, I didn't find that one. But I'm gonna put it up on the screen, and it is Because You Love to Hate Me by 13 authors who collaborated with 13 booktubers, and this is another thing that I actually wrote a blog post on, so I'm gonna link that down below. Didn't you guess it? And actually the same thing with the last book that I'm going to talk about in the wrap-up, but it's basically short stories about villains, like kind of villain retelling that are usually like 20 pages long, and then each one of the booktubers wrote a little something after the short story. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either, which was my problem, because there wasn't much that I could say was bad about it, but there wasn't much that was great about it either. So it was really sad because I was excited for it, but I also heard a lot of bad reviews, people who said this is not really for me, and just people who had kind of the same opinion like I did, so it wasn't really hyped because I feel like no one really loved it, or like some people really did, but from everyone that I've like heard talking about it, they didn't love it, so I didn't expect to adore it, but I was still excited because, you know, 13 awesome authors, and like the writing is really good, but I just didn't really enjoy it that much. And the last book is one of my new most favorite books in the world, and that is Geekerella by Ashley Poston. I actually filmed a video on that and wrote a blog post because I was so obsessed with it. So you guessed it, both is gonna be linked down below if you want to check it out. But this book is one of the best things ever. It is just mostly about fandom, and it is super, it is fairy tale like, but it has the Cinderella parts in it. I talked about it in that video, like, you know, she has the evil stepmom and evil stepsisters and all that, and her parents are gone and all. But it is just so freaking good, and it still manages to be realistic and so freaking awesome. I loved it. I'm obsessed with it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously, it's so freaking good. It's so pretty and so awesome, and you have to read it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this book. And now for the TBR. I actually don't have any physical books when it comes to this because I have them on my Kindle, and what I'm planning on reading this month is mostly the Mortal Instruments series, and pretty much I'm gonna try to read all of Cassandra Clare's books this month, and that's quite the goal. So I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to do it, but I almost read the first Mortal Instruments book, The City of Bones, and I think I'm going to fly through the whole series. But yeah, when I read that, I'm going to hopefully read The Infernal Devices, and then I would like to read Lady Midnight. Yeah, I've never read it before, and I thought it was about time, and it's actually funny because last year around this time I read the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series for the first time. So you know, that major book series that all people love and are like, you have to read it if you haven't. And when it comes to Cassandra, I've never read the Mortal Instruments, and it's super hyped and it's magical realism, and I think that I'm gonna love it. And actually, the first book is kind of slow-paced because I'm gonna talk about that in the future, but I still really like it. The characters are awesome, I really like the world, so I think I might be able to read all of it this month. If I do, then like, congrats to me, but you're gonna see that at the end of this month or at the beginning of next month. Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna try to read all of Cassandra Clare's books, and if I don't read it this month, I would like to read it next month. But I have other books to read, so a lot of other books to read, so I hope I'm gonna read it all fast. But I chose it because I think I'm going to read it all fast because it's a series, and if it's gonna excite me a lot, which I think is gonna be the case, because even with the first book, which is, like I said, a little slow-paced in my opinion, I'm like already really liking it, so we'll see about that. But yeah, tell me what you've recently read and what you're planning on reading this month. And that will be it for this video. Have a brilliant day and see you soon in my next video. Bye!